Greetings, folks. Welcome to your August spread, the energy of August 2020. The cards that we have laid out here is looking at how we can use the energy of August to see who we are now and what's obstructing us from seeing ourselves clearly, the action that we're meant to take, and things that will support us along our way. How will we be able to measure this action and this progress? And how can we move heart forward in going through August? So we start with the energy of the crow. And this is answering the question of who am I now? Now, we've been seeing a lot of crows randomly throughout different areas. I know particularly in the United States, and there are troves of crows that are coming all at once in areas. And crows can be an essence of transformation, of transformation. They're really magical creatures. There's a sense of magic that they bring with them. But if I'm gonna look at the deck. It says spiritually strong, creative, watchful. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities, past, present, and future. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. Those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. When in balance, psychic, strong, clear. When out of balance, ungrounded, hypersensitive. To bring into balance, daily meditation practice. And so who are we right now? We are at a really prime time. We have felt so much in these last few months with all the different planets that have been in retrograde, with the planets that are going in retrograde, the planets that have been in retrograde. The energy of 2020 alone is bringing things into clear vision, and things are only going to continue to come to the surface. And so it's best if we can really continue to sit with our highest self and to sit with our true self and understand who we are in this moment. And for each of us, it's going to be different. As a collective, we are spiritual, magical beings, and not just as humans, but each living thing on this planet, whether it's the plants or the water, all the elements, the sun, the animals, humans, all living things have this divine essence about them, and we're all interconnected. And so it's beginning to see that interconnectivity, not only of in this physical space, but knowing who we were in our past, knowing who we are in our present, and then taking what we've known from the past and the present to move forward. And so really tapping into and tuning into that mysticism, that mystical, spiritual, magical parts of ourselves in this moment. And so playing with the concept of magic right now. We're also in Leo season. The beginning of this month is Leo season. And so it's allowing for us to really tap into our authenticity and who we truly are and express that really freely. Again, with Leo season, it can balance a little bit of not necessarily arrogance, but sometimes when we are acting in such pride, we can overstep our bounds, maybe not act in our best interest. And so really honing in on how is my outward expression affecting the collective, and recognizing that we all impact one another in how we are and who we are and in being, and how we are connected to each other. So that is who we are right now. The next question is, what is obstructing me from seeing myself clearly? And that's the sea serpent. The sea serpent has to do with creativity and sexuality and desires. And so in thinking about what I just mentioned in regards to Leo season, our expressive selves, maybe we're not allowing ourselves to express ourselves freely. Maybe we are obstructing ourselves from thinking we don't deserve what we truly want, or we're afraid to ask of what we truly want. So are we holding ourselves back by not speaking up for ourselves? Are we holding ourselves back by not authentically expressing ourselves? And with the essence of creativity with the sea serpent, we hold our creative energy in our second chakra, in around essentially where our sexual organs are. And so we hold a lot of creative space there. And so tapping into the energy of that space and thinking, what would best express myself? How can I best express myself? And maybe in relating to others and in being intimate with others, am I not expressing myself fully, or am I not asking for things that I either want to try or that I know would fulfill me, but maybe it's not something that we talk about regularly? And this is something that you can look back in my latest podcast with Nike and Robinson, and so much of the concept of sex tends to be taboo or not talked about because of the ways that our society has shunned the conversations around sex, when sex is a natural part of life. And so exploring your sexuality and exploring these parts of yourselves of maybe that you've been holding back or repressing. So the two energies of that: are you holding yourself back sexually? Are you holding yourself back intimately? And I guess the third piece is, are you holding yourself back creatively? Are you not expressing yourself authentically? And so looking at those spaces and are you being honest with yourself to then being honest to those around you? And then the third card is, what actions will stop me from second guessing myself? So if you're not allowing yourself to see yourself clearly because you're not really looking at what you want or what you're feeling and being expressing that authentically, then what actions will stop me from second guessing myself, will stop me from holding back? And that's the energy of the frog. The frog is another powerful creature. Anytime I see a frog, particularly like that, I think of the bufo frog, which is known for its 5-MeO-DMT elements, which is this, it's been called the God molecule. It helps people remove the layers of self and ego and really see our connection to others. But let's look at what the book has to say about the frog. Clearing, cleansing, healing. The frog and the water element are almost inseparable. The frog spends its first months of life entirely within this healing element and then emerges to rest on land. But no matter how earthly the frog becomes, its need for cleansing and rejuvenation is regular. Frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished, so it's vital that such sensitive creatures practice self-care. This card serves as a reminder that water helps us cleanse, forgive, and release. Time to dive in. Frogs aren't meant to carry a heavy load. So again, what actions will stop me from second guessing myself? Actually taking care of yourself. Doing things that will replenish you, re-energize you. Forgiving yourself for past mistakes, forgiving yourself for those times that you have second guessed yourself and maybe it seemed like the wrong decision, although every decision has gotten you to this point. So forgiving yourself for maybe taking the slower route to getting to this point, or replenishing your energy levels by doing things that do that for you. For me, it's dancing in the mornings and listening to music that I feel within my soul and moves my body, and that's going to replenish me. But that forgiveness piece definitely is coming in strong, and it's healing. When we forgive someone, it's not only for that person, it's allowing freedom for ourselves. It's freeing us from our suffering of holding on to that resentment. And whether that's forgiving yourself in decisions you've made in the past, or forgiving others for decisions they've made that may have affected you, allowing for that space of forgiveness to open up space for new things and new beginnings moving forward. So if you find yourself second guessing yourself, know that you can trust yourself and doing more things that bring that trust back for you. I had a coach, the beautiful Anya, who had said, decisions are when we go back and forth on things and it takes us a while to come to a decision. A choice is something that can be instantaneous. It's usually our gut instinct. It's usually our intuition telling us what to do. And so when we act from a place of choice, rather than talking ourselves in and out of something, we can learn to trust our intuition more when we just choose rather than deciding. So come from a place of choice. The next card is a new project for me to take on, or new actions to take now. And that is the energy of the Otter. And the energy of the Otter has a lot to do with play. Are you allowing play into your life? Are you doing things that bring you joy? And again, that will help with that replenishing your energy levels and giving back to yourself and trusting yourself again when you allow for joy and happiness and that pure bliss to be in your life by doing things that bring you joy. And going back to things that when you were a kid that brought you joy. I've been mentioning it a lot to coaching clients, to do things that you did when you were a kid that you really enjoyed and at some point had strayed away from. I recently started drawing again, and I found my deck of cards from Sailor Moon that I used to draw from all the time. So starting to do that again has been a meditative practice, as well as it's been a joyful practice to see that those skills don't really go away. I mean, you kind of have to hone them again, but they're instinctual. So that's been fun for me. So things that you feel silly doing, or that you just that makes you feel like a kid again, bring those back into your life and tap into that. So that new project to take on or new actions to take now is to incorporate play into your life. And what a beautiful month to do that with in this Leo season. The next question is a helper that will support me on my path, and that's the energy of the golden egg. And as soon as I pulled this card, I thought of meditation, and that's what that card represents, the golden egg. Meditation. If you start your morning in coming back to presence, or in coming to a space of gratitude, or just being still and allowing for your space to just be in the mornings, remember that we are human beings and not human doings. Something that I recognized the other day was, we ask, how are you doing? But instead, why don't we ask, how are you being? Because by saying doing, we always feel like we have to be doing something in order to be living. But we're human beings. We're here by just being. And again, that taps into our magical selves, our authentic selves, expressing ourselves authentically, forgiving ourselves and allowing ourselves to use our intuition, and coming back to things that allow us to play and feel joy. When we give to ourselves in the morning by just being, we allow for this other energy to come through more naturally. The golden egg sits with the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. And so when we sit in meditation, we can begin to ask ourselves questions of things that we may feel stuck on, And in those quiet moments, you can hear a whisper of your true self, your authentic self, your intuition come through and answer those questions. And so again, it goes back to that magic of the crow. When we allow ourselves to be magical beings, magic can happen. And I wrote this in my recent last week's blog post about magic and the movie Onward. Why did we stop believing in magic? Magic is all around us in the way that energy is expressed. And maybe magic isn't the right word, but we think of magic and we think of like David Copperfield or, magic tricks, but it's magic and miracles to just be alive, that our hearts beat without us asking it to, without us even thinking about it. Our lungs breathe without us even thinking about it. There are so many blessings that we have in this life, and if we just sit with ourselves in meditation and connect to that heart space, we can feel into that gratitude, and that will support you on your path. So that meditation practice and the action of being and being in the heart space and being of gratitude for what you have, for who you are, for where you've been, where you are now, and where you can go moving forward. So sitting in meditation, being, and tapping into that gratitude and that heart space. The next card is how will we be able to measure our success? That is the energy of the wolf. And as I pick up this card, the wolf has to do with like tribe and wolf pack and family. And as I picked it up, the Ram Dass quote came into my head and said, if you think that you're enlightened, spend a week with your family. And our family is our biggest teacher. There are so many elements, wounds or trauma or things that gets passed down to us, or experiences that we have in our childhood growing up that affect us as adults and as who we are in this life, and things that we need to work on, or patterns that we have. And so how can you measure your success is seeing your growth within your family, seeing how you may have operated with your family and related to your family or interacted with your family members, particularly those that have been your biggest teachers, and maybe not in a traditional sense, but more so in a, ones that you've struggled with or ones that you've butted heads with. What is your relationship moving forward after you have allowed for the play to come in, allowed for you to express yourself creatively, allowed for the magic to be sitting in meditation, finding things to be grateful for, seeing things that may have been hardships as a space of gratitude for getting you where you are, for making you stronger, seeing things in a space of gratitude. So how have you been with your family in the past, particularly ones that you have butted heads with, and how are you in this moment, and how are you moving forward after you've incorporated these things? I'm just going to pull up the wolf energy, see if there's anything else. So the wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. How have you made progress in conversations with family members? And I'm hearing in particular maybe difficult conversations, particularly around the activism that we're seeing. Maybe you don't see eye to eye with certain family members, and how do you have these difficult, maybe not difficult, but uncomfortable conversations with them? And it could be that you're just hearing them out and learning where they came to these conclusions of their beliefs, and not necessarily changing their minds or having them hear you, but more so learning where they've come to these conclusions from and learning their whys. And that is going to take a little bit of digging, and again, it can be an uncomfortable conversation to pull back the layers, but they are necessary conversations to have in order for us to be in more harmony with each other and for us to understand one another. And hopefully the dialogue also is reciprocated, where you can express yourself and your why in the way that you believe in things, and maybe there can be a compromise in the conversation. And so measuring your success is to see how these conversations go that maybe you think could be difficult or uncomfortable, how these can actually be really transformational. And so from there, the next question is the shadow that will be integrated as a result of our progress, the heartbreak that will begin healing as we move forward. And that is the energy of the eagle. And you see the eagle, and it's such a powerful image, and it looks like the talons are coming down to grab the sun. I don't know the eagle card as well, so I'm going to look into what it means. But it is a really powerful card, which means there's a lot of healing to take place. All-pervading power, truth seeker, transforms karma. The noble eagle emanates the light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. When out of balance, controlling. When in balance, bright, radiant challenges. To bring into balance, step into the unknown. So, in order for us to integrate the shadow, we have to know our shadow side. We have to sit with our shadow side. In order to heal our heartbreak, we have to know where we're heartbroken. And so allowing for us to sit with ourselves, if we haven't already done so in these last few months, really see where our shadow side is. And so the shadow side can be the dark parts of yourself. For me, that's my anger and my rage. It's the comparison that I have to others. It's the times that I feel unworthy or get small. That's my shadow side. And so I know in sitting with that, or when it comes up, the different stories that I'm transforming those former beliefs into, and that I'm practicing on becoming new stories. And so when we see the eagle, the words that I was hearing when I was reading the description was for every yin element. So being at ease, surrendering, trusting, the feminine side. There is also a yang, the action taking, the strong, the masculine side. And not to say that the feminine side isn't strong. They are both strong in their own ways. And this isn't have to do with the physical essence of a person. This is the divine essence of everything. So it's for every yin there is a yang. For every masculine energy there is a feminine energy. And they can intertwine and they can be imbalanced or in balance, but with this, not just for the energy of August, but for moving forward, there is going to be a lot that is going to continue to come up. And so know that on the other side of the pain, or on the other side of the uncomfortable, is bliss, is comfortable, is a new version of us are getting to the next level of this game of life. After we beat King Koopa, whatever the next level after that, but we have to be with King Koopa first and fight that battle in order to get to the level after that. So in order to integrate the shadow side, we have to know the shadow side. In order to integrate the healing, or in order to heal the heartbreak, we have to know what the heartbreak is from and why we're heartbroken. And with that uncomfortability, know that you are strong. You have come so far along in this life already, and all that you have gone through. Know that that strength resides in you, and you will continue to get through the uncomfortableness. You will continue to get through these growth stages. You have the strength to get through it. And in the times that you don't feel like you're strong enough, reach out to your allies, reach out to your community, and lean on them for support. But know that you are strong enough on your own. You are capable, and that you are supported. For the things that you feel like you need to control, but you have no control over, control what you can control. And so as we're still in this shelter-in-place phase in many parts of the world, what can you control? You can control what you eat. You can control your exercise. You can control your meditation, your breath work, how you lay out your days. You can control these things. Everything in life is a choice, for the most part. Everything in life is a choice. How we choose to show up in situations. So know that you are strong enough to be with the darkness and to move forward from it, and that on the other side of the dark is the light. And then from there, what is the brave new terrain of ourselves that we are claiming? What are the different stories we are telling? And what are the rewards of remaining in our truth and being heart-fed? And that's the energy of the zebra. And the zebra is a sense of adventure. It is eccentric, it's creative, it's visionary. So this new terrain, after we've integrated all of this energy from the month, will be eccentric, will be creative. It will be magical, will be expansive, will get to that next level of life. The book says zebras also like to contribute to the global health through environmental or volunteer work. This card may be when in balance, worldly, enthusiastic, fashion forward. When out of balance, jaded, pouty, vain. To bring into balance an epic adventure or art. So it might be time. From this energy, you might feel called to do volunteer work. You might feel called to think about your carbon footprint and how you're affecting the world around you and the impact that you're making in the world. And so there's ways online to look up your carbon footprint and how much you're actually impacting, and ways that you can lessen your carbon footprint. So if you're not recycling right now, look up, it'll tell you, it'll give you a percentage. I forgot what the specifics are on how it tells you your carbon footprint. But as you're taking the quiz, you realize kind of quickly on, like, oh, I can be doing things differently, because it gives you ideas of what you can do to change your carbon footprint. But the new ways of being after going through this month will be more heart-led, will be more eccentric, will be more in our truth, more creative. We'll be able to see things in a new way. It's a very visionary feel as we start gearing up towards November, particularly in the United States. And we're seeing that poll workers are needed. And so if you have the capacity to do so, you feel healthy enough to do so, I would recommend going to sign up to work at your local poll station. Again, when we want to see things in a new way, we think about all the different things that affect how we see things in a new way. So being able to, who are we voting for? Who's running for office? Can we run for office? Different things that we can do to help create change in the world around us and be of service and think in new ways that we maybe never have thought of before. So it's a doozy of a month. It's exciting. It's joyful. It's creative. It's uncomfortable, but there are tools here that allows for the yin and yang to be present at the same time. So I hope this is helpful. If you want to do a one-on-one reading, let me know, reach out. We have our Game Changers, or our Change Makers, World Changers coaching program starting on September 7th. So if you are interested in creating smaller changes on a daily basis to creating bigger changes in the world around you, please look into that. We are accepting applications and spots until September 5th, and then the first emails will go out September 7th, and we'll go from there. We have different options. We have a go at your own pace without the integrated practices. It's just the energy readings. We have a go at your own pace that includes the integration practices and the readings and lessons. We have a group coaching format where we meet once a month with a group of 10, and we have a one-on-one program that meets with myself twice a month for an hour at a time. Plus, each of these has the weekly energy readings with the integration practices, as well as resources to further develop your mind, your body, your spirit, and again, create small changes in your daily life to create bigger changes in the world around you and be the change you wish to see in the world. So, sending much love, many blessings.